Yeah, welcome back to Career Build Series. This is episode 120, and so what I'm doing in this episode is we'll get started right away. I want to go do some oil trading. Now, we don't have a ton of money to do this. Seems like we have a lot. We have bring up the 800 rework. Um, we had 340,000 after we spawn this. We'll have 127, but then we have to pay for the fuel. There's 53,000 liters of diesel in there. So, we'll be down to about 75,000, and so we're going to be able to buy 75,000 of oil. It's not a ton, but that's what we have, and so we make about a 1-to-1 profit on this. So we should make about that much money. So around 75,000. It's not great money, but it's not terrible either. So go down the engineering section here. We'll turn on our batteries, our recharge, and our master power. We'll go ahead and go back upstairs. All right. And I'm just trying to expedite this, get up on the bridge here. I also don't want to bang it off the rocks here, so go ahead and start putting in some bow thruster, though that's sensitive. I need to fix that at some point. Start the two motors. All right, and then I want to sink, and I'll start going forwards here. All right, we'll center up the bow thruster. All right, and we'll start steering over, and you can see we're right there. So, I was initially going to go from Spy Cakes all the way down to here, grab this oil, head all the way up like this. And the reason to do that is I can buy oil down there for 58 cents. It's $1.31 up here. The problem is it's a lot more travel time. And so I think it's going to be better. Also, if take me 2 runs probably to make the same amount of money, but also I can do 1 run, go do something else, and then do another run. So that's kind of the thought. So you'll see we're pretty close there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn on the LiDAR, and we'll go to 1,000 here. So LiDAR radar is on. LiDAR radar is on. So this red line here shows where we're actually headed. Go ahead and center that rudder up. So I was going to build a little contraption to help with hooking the hoses up, but I think I'm just going to do the tried and true annoying way of doing it that I always do it. Kind of just run up and down 3 times and hook up the hoses. I would like them to put in just a regular winch or something so that I can drop down something to hook up the hoses. They haven't done that, so can't really do that. Even if it was like 3 winches with hoses hanging over the side and you could just drop the hoses down, that would be better. Maybe I'll make an add-on for my own save game and then do that or something. I have no clue how to do the add-on, so that would be something to learn. All right, so let's actually let's use a tool here to kind of look where we're going here. So I'm going to use the spot camera here. There we go. And so that's where we're headed. And so let's zoom in some more. That's max zoom. All right, so that's where we're going. I didn't turn on the nav lights yet, so let's turn those on. So we have standard navs on now. And take a little pick here. All right, and so we're underway with the 800. So this, I can't even recall the whole volume, but we're going to be nowhere near touching the whole volume. This should hold 750,000 liters of oil. It's nowhere near that. I think it's like between 2 or 3, I think. I'm not sure. It could be more than that. I'm not 100%. But, we're going to only put it in 74,000 liters. The benefit of that, too, is not going to take us a ton of time to fill it because, 1, the oil's coming down, and 2, I'm filling it nowhere near its max capacity, so it should be a little bit quicker to get loaded up. All right. And just manually steering over there. I could put the autopilot on, but I kind of just want to drive it in. We're close, so grab my binocular. Actually, yeah, I can probably see better with my binoculars. Yeah, so I'm trying to see which side. I think we're on the close side. That far side is where I want to go for filling it. I wonder if see, I'm afraid. I was going to almost drive under there, but I'm afraid of smashing off of stuff. Because if I go underneath there, especially seeing I'm filling it, it should stay level, but there's no place to tie off the side. That's kind of an issue. Once I hook the hoses up, the hoses will keep me in position, but it would be nice to have tie downs. I might go underneath. I've never tried loading this from underneath before. I think it's tall enough I can go under. I have to look up how they really load the oil tankers. Let me see. Yeah, see how they load oil tankers at rigs. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there's a picture. It's just they must throw a rope and then have it, carried out. But it also looks like a crane drops down. Like if they could put a crane on there where you could tip it over the side, so it's over the boat and then drop 3 hoses down. That would be ideal. But I'll probably have to build something like that. I think I might be too tall to get underneath. I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to stick the bow under there anyways, just... We can see, I can always back it up. But you see, it is sizable. This is a sizable ship, so... Let's grab a pick here for the thumbnail. Okay, so let's start slowing it up. That's the drawback of using this clutch system. I think I will eventually change it over to have a proper system. The waves are actually in our favor. The wind's blowing this way, so it'll push us against the pilings, and it's not crazy, so we shouldn't be heaving too much, which should keep us from slamming into it and getting damaged. So probably I'm going to shut damage off, just because realistically, you would you would never get up against it, but kind of in game I don't have a choice, so I kind of have to do this. So I'm going to turn on the bow thruster full right, and I'm going to actually go rudder left and see if I can't translate a little bit to the right. See how we're sliding right, so my stern's coming towards it and my bow is also coming towards it. All right, so I want to let the waves push us towards the piling there. Is the bow thruster working? I think it's working. It's just slow. I'll grab another pick while I'm here. So I just kind of want to get this a little closer, and then I can try to get in there. So there's the home island in the background there. That's kind of cool. Alright, so let's see. We're moving over there slowly. I'm going to help it along here. So I want to go a little bit of left rudder, and I just want to put in just a hair of prop to push the stern in. Alright, and now I'm going to zero it, and that's an old zero system that doesn't auto reset. And we'll back it up. There we go. So kind of getting in position a little bit better here. Try to parallel this in a little bit. Yeah, so the whole drive system on this needs a rework. It's not glamorous work, so it's not something I really have been wanting to do. I'm trying to think how to get this. I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. The bow's starting to push itself in now. Bow's been a little bit stubborn here, trying to get the bow in. Trying to get the bow in, but it doesn't want to bow in. Okay. Bow thruster seems to be doing very little. Make sure I didn't have that set up backwards. No, I don't think so. It's pushing. You can see the bow's going left to port now. Alright, so we're slowly moving in. It's just taking me a second. There we go. Alright, so this is why I shut damage off, is, you know, realistically you wouldn't be doing it like this, but kind of have to do it in the game. So let's go ahead and let's do this the annoying way, which is jumping down onto the deck. I was going to make a thing that crane could pull up that would just allow me to hook the hoses and actually add some winches, but you know, I'd have to, you know, I can't use the remote control. I'd have to actually build a radio controller on the ship to do it, and it's a bunch of added work. Right. Oh, you were closer and now you're further away. That's killing me. I don't have any way to get on this. Why is the wave should be pushing me right into it, and they're not, they're doing the exact opposite. They're drawing me away, which is really super duper annoying. Alright. Try to get this hooked up again here. Get this in position. Can I just... Now I'm going to hit the front mast on this if I try to go underneath it, which is a bad idea anyway. So I'm going to use my rudders to starboard, and I'm going to bow thrust in, and I'm going to try to get us up against the wall there. Damage is off, so I should be able to hopefully get in there without too much problem. I was kind of moving back and forth, trying to get this moved in a little here. Yeah, like, see, my drive system's just a mess on this. I need to, reverse is just super duper, because it's not pushing the bow through the water, so, like, see, reverse, I can go a lot faster in reverse, which is nonsense. Okay. So with the waves the way they are, it's just being a real pain to get close. Like I can't, like I'm steering, but it's just the waves are making it tough. What is going on here? Alright, I'm just going to do it this way. Let's turn it into a cluster real fast. Yeah, this whole drive system needs a rework here. It's just a mess at the moment. I'm just going to do asymmetrical thrust. My rudder's doing very little with the waves. The way they're working, just very little. I'm just steering with asymmetrical thrust, which is working better. I'm just going to nose it right in there. It's misbehaving the whole time, so I want to nose it in. It's like I can't get closer. I'm doing everything I can to get it in there. It's like just does not want to get closer. There we go. Finally. Alright. This is not ideal, but this is how it's getting done, so. So at some point I need to redo the drive system on this, which is kind of a pain, but I need to be able to jump down onto this deck and let's do this before I regret it. Again, you know, realistically you'd have a crane help, you know, feed the hoses down. Just don't have that. Okay, there we go. This needs an update too. So that's pump in. And there we go. We're pumping in. Tanks are pumping. Okay, good. We're pumping in. All right, let's go grab the other two hoses. I'm just going to fly. Already just smashing it into there, so it's... Reality has kind of gone out the window. And so I need to redo the drive system on this. I don't think it'll be too bad. What I'll do is I'll take, you know, I've got so many ships that use the new drive system now that I'll just I'll copy parts of it and just, you know, it won't take me long to redo a drive system on it, but I'm not going to do it on screen. It'll just be very boring, me trying to just go through it. Okay. Alright, so we are plugged, and that has given us oil. Alright, so I'm gonna get out of here. And when we run out of money, I wonder if it'll let me overextend and essentially take a loan. That would be kind of interesting. If it lets me do that, I'll fill this sucker up to the brim. But I'm going to make a save here. Save oil tanking. Okay. And that way, if something screws up, or when something screws up, I won't end up in the crap. So I'm going to shut my engines down. So the generator is going to stay on. The generator will run the batteries. You can see it's charging. And that way I won't be burning a ton of fuel. You know, we have 54,000 liters. I don't need those engines running at 7 RPS the whole time. Like I said, I'm going to rewrite that drive system. It's just not working for me the way it is. Yeah, we've run, what do we... 3,400 plus about 2. Yeah. Yeah, so about 3,600 liters we used to get over here. So about $3,600 we've already utilized in fuel to get over here, which, you know, that's one of the issues why, you know, when you're doing small tank amounts, it starts to become not worth it, is just you burn a lot of fuel. If you can fill this sucker to the brim, it makes a ton of fuel, it makes a ton of money. But I didn't want to wait forever to get going on this. I want to kind of get into it. So what I'm going to do here is, where are we at here? Let me look. I can look at this, and this will show me where I'm at. You can see they're barely registering. We're not even anywhere near 25%. What's that? We have 3 times 4, so we're talking about 12,000 liters currently on board. That's not terrible. 12,000 liters currently on board. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to check back in with you when we get when we're full. Let me look at my money. Yeah, so we've already spent about 20 grand, about 22 grand in oil, and so I'll check back in with you guys when this is full. All right. Alright, so we're back here. We're down to $11. And so that means we're most likely full. So let's look. 5. Those are 7s. So I need to put a totaler in there. But we have a considerable, let's put it this way. We have a considerable amount of oil. If I could only speak, that'd be great. So that's in there. We have our oil. Let's go ahead and get rid of these hoses. I'm going to do a bunch of flying again. I'm sick of going up and down this thing. I will look at how to make my own add-on. I need to fix the train signals on my save anyways, so I might try to fix these so that they can make it a little bit easier to use. Alright, so let's get moving. Alright, let's jump on board here. Now we'll get over. So we'll start the engines back up. Sync up my throttles. This whole throttle system needs to be redone. The whole drive system's a mess. Alright, so let's plot a course here. And we're going to plot out to the refinery island. So I have to find it on my map here. I think this is it right here. That appears to be it right there. That is it right there. Okay, so we'll go right here. And I will add a waypoint. Yeah, it's 9 kilometers away. Okay, so go ahead and turn the autopilot on. And this, as you can see, it's steering us now towards that. We're going to 11 knots, so it'll take us a little. Let me do the conversion here really quick. So what do we? Let's say 9 kilometers, so 4.8 nautical miles. So we're talking less than a half an hour to get there. So not too much time. I think I'll time lapse it out. I think I'm gonna time lapse it. So. Go ahead and we'll be heading to the sun here. It'll be kind of nice to watch. So, all right. So I'll kind of leave you guys, and we'll let that go on up. approaching the refinery island now. So, nice little run there. Go ahead and change these over to reds. Try our deck lights here too, make them reds. And we can look with the camera, put that on night vision mode, and we'll look over there at the refinery. And you can see the beam of the LiDAR. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and pull in here and hook up. And then currently 370 meters from our destination, so I'm just going to remove the autopilot and control it manually. So with the autopilot, this would have automatically stopped at its destination. It'd be cool for me to add an anchor system too, where it automatically drops the anchors, but yeah, I don't know how well that would work. So we're going to pull in the slot and start hooking up to drain out all this oil. This doesn't have to go up very high, but it's going to probably take quite a while longer than it did to fill because we're working against gravity here. And so I have I don't remember what the light is here. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing too here. Let me get the spot on. Spot's going to help a little bit figuring out where, I don't want it pointing right at the bow. It's going to bounce off. There we go. Gives us a little bit of sight up against the rocks there so I don't hit them. I should probably do better shut night vision. I'll leave night vision off. And I'll just shut the spot off and just use the camera. I can see it pretty well as it is. Alright, so I'm just gonna put this screw in reverse here. Bringing the bow around. I'm gonna throw a little bow thruster in there too, get it turning. Didn't like fighting the waves earlier, but it's maneuvering well now. Alright, there we go, and let's go a bar up. Just sink them instead. And bow thrust can come off, rudder's going amidships. And which one is it? I cannot recall, so let's look. It is all the way in, so. I want to make sure I don't hit the antenna. We're close to hitting the antenna. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so we're in the slot. I shut off damage as I was saying before. Don't really... I'm not going to bother turning it back on. That's just, if we bang against something. In real life you have fenders that will protect you from that. So, kind of simulate that, that's what's going on by shutting the damage off. It just makes it so that it's a little bit more realistic, I think. Take some screenshots, and let's go ahead and start unloading this oil. So there is the crude oil. Alright, let's start plugging it in. Alright, now I need to reconfigure my panel. So these should... I left all my pumps on, which wasn't wise, but... and I need to come up with a better system than that. So that is that draining? Let me see if it's giving me money. Still at 11, so I'm not getting any money yet. I probably need to set the pump up here. Pump's on now, so that should be pumping out. And I'll check the money in a second here. we're actually pumping pretty quickly, so this may not take all that long. Again, we didn't have a ton of oil in here. I need to put a totaler in there, but I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 70,000 liters. Sounds like a lot, but you know, this holds I think 400 something. I cannot recall the what do you call it? The real one holds 750,000 liters. There's just no way. Even with pivot glitches, I can't get that much buoyancy to counteract that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and save oil tank in there. All right, and we'll go ahead and I'll time-lapse this out. I don't think it's going to take a ton of time. Let me kind of look at the bridge, and I can see the, let's see what we're pumping. So when it was filling before, it automatically was lowering, putting out water, because as we take on the oil ballast, we don't need as much water ballast. It will automatically fill the water tanks back up as the oil drains. It all works to try to keep the these altimeters right where they're supposed to be. So we had something like, these were around 9, so that's 18,000. These were something like 16. Was that 20, 32, and 2, 34. These were like another, let's say 11, 35, 45. And then these were like, say, another 10. So let's say 55,000 liters. I think that sounds about right. Yeah, because $1.35, so I would think 55,000 liters is about what we could take on. All right, so we'll just let this sit. Let me get a kind of a little place to sit and watch it go. All right, and we'll see when this is all done. Alright, so it looks like we're empty here. All tanks are empty. So let's go check the money. 165,000. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and back this out. I have to unhook all the hoses first, but weather picked up, it looks like. And I'm just going to fly up there just to make it easier. Go ahead and grab the hoses. And we'll be ready to go. So I think it's a good idea to take the damage off when we're at dock here. Of course, you know, in real life you'd be using fenders and you'd have all sorts of tools and, you know, tying off, and you don't have to worry about glitching or anything. So I think that's what I'll do, shut the damage off when we go into like a dock like this. Alright, so let's back on out. Throttle sync is on. I kind of want throttle sync is off. I want to kind of manually control it here. Turn on my spot. Alright, so let me start forcing ourselves back. Oh, the engines are off, so that would do it every time. Alright, so I'm just steering out with that starboard screw for now. That gets us off of this dock. Just using that one screw there, I can easily keep us away from that side, seeing we have plenty of space on this side. Alright, so we're going to head back to home base. And then I'll go ahead and put it back in the workbench. We'll see where we're at with money. Alright, here we go. Now we'll sync up the throttles, and then we're going to go and get moving here. So I'll go ahead and find our island on the map here. I'll set the autopilot for it. Right there, I think. Yep, that's our island right there. So we'll just go just to the south of the island. We'll add it up, turn on the AP, and we're in business here, right into the sun. So, now let's see what we have. 7.9 kilometers, so say 8 kilometers. So we're talking about another half an hour to get there. So, all right, let me do save. All right, yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll time lapse that out again, and I'll see you when we get there. And I'm just gonna put arriving back at the home island here. So it was a good little mission. You know, the thing with the oil tanker is, of course, you know, the more volume we can hold, the more profit we're going to get. But, you know, ran into an issue here where we just didn't have the seed capital. So this should give us a little bit extra cash. You know, time-wise, this was a little bit time-consuming, but, you know, it wasn't too bad. I like using the camera here and seeing, go look at the island. But yeah, that was good. Shouldn't be long here till we're in. I'm gonna shut the autopilot off here, and we'll go ahead and manually bring it in. You know, certainly some things with the T800. This is an old build. I forget when I released this, but it could definitely use a bunch of updating, and so. You know, at some point, get this updated. This is going to be one of our main money makers. I can also take out the Damen Ta800 with a barge. You know, I might do that next time. The cost is actually pretty close. You know, this certainly is more profitable if I can fill it all the way up. The Damen Ta800, you know, it'll push our current barge. You know, I could take a larger barge, but, you know, so... kind of use either to do some fuel trading, but the fuel trading is definitely a good way to make some money here, and we'll see when I put this away where we're at. Hopefully, you know, we have some a good bit of cash here. I can make the final calculations. I could probably kind of figure it out a little bit, but I don't know what I've burned for fuel. So let me quickly run downstairs, and we'll see what I burned about for fuel. I might have a gauge up here. I can't remember. I know I have a gauge down here, so burned not that much, 4,000 liters, so about $4,000 out, you know, and so that's not bad. You know, if we could fill this to the brim with oil, that's, you know, that's pocket change. So coming on in. So definitely I want to do an engine control rework. You know, the way this works is it keeps it at 7 RPS, and then the clutches work it. So what I want to do is set it up where my other systems, where it has like a 3.5 idle, and it actually revs it up and it revs it down. That saves, you know, not that I, you know, I pretty much shut my engines down when I'm stopped, and the harbor generator takes over, and that doesn't burn a ton of fuel. That's pretty efficient, but kind of want to get a engine rework in this and redo it. This was an earlier build when I was kind of, you know, trying to figure out the best systems to operate the vehicles. So hopefully get a better system inboard at some point. But you know, again, that's something I may go off screen. I'll probably do off screen. There's no point in me really getting into it. Ooh, hitting the ground there. Let's see if I can recall it from here. Like the zero system's weird. Like I used to do it where you had to press a button to sync the engines, but I'd say the vast majority of the time you have the engines synced, and then desync is kind of like a rare position when you do maneuvering. So, all right, let me just jump on the deck, see if I can take it in. Okay, so let me do one last pick here for the. This makes good pictures, especially with the new base and the new crane. All right, let's recall it. All right, and we will see where the money's at. So 430,000. We made what, about 80,000? Yeah, so we made it in the neighborhood of 80,000. That's considering us, you know, losing the using up the fuel. I'm really loving the crane. The crane came out really nice. The slack should be taken out of those. I think it's just because, you know, when it spawned back in the world. But I'm really happy with what the progress the base is making. The base is looking good. Could do a bunch of stuff here. The crane I'm happy with. You know, I'm happy to get some diesel in here again so I can fill up vehicles. So this was a good mission. We got up to 430,000. let's go ahead and look in here really quick at the home ship. Try to refresh myself of what this will cost to spawn. Home ship will cost 490, so just under 5, and I have a bunch of stuff I want to do to this. Like, you can see how much the fuel cost is. This is a big fuel baby, so like the whole bridge needs work. This lower deck here, I'm gonna take this pool table and that chest out and kind of fake them. I don't really need the games that I can work, and that will save me some money and just some nonsense and some frames. But this is kind of the communal room down here. You get down in the living quarters here, so you have staterooms all through here. And then you have your kitchen galley in here. And then this is an indeterminate room at the moment. Probably do something with that. And then go down another deck. We start getting into the actual workings of the ship. So this is kind of a cool little area where you climb up. And this goes up to the anchor lockers. And in real life, anchor in closed spaces and ships are really dangerous. So like you can see, this is all just, none of this is going to be visible. But in closed spaces and ships are really dangerous because as the anchors chains oxidize, you end up getting essentially it utilizes all the oxygen to rust the chains, and then you get in a problem where you get in a closed space and there's no oxygen. And so you've had a lot of people die on ships going in these enclosed spaces, so I'm going to kind of put a system in there where it kind of warns you and has some warning stuff. And coming through here, I don't know what I'm doing here. This would be systems probably, and like, you know. And then this here is a cool room. This is the hangar. So you actually pull that deck plate off there, and you can load in things like vehicles and whatnot. And then here's the engine room. So I have two big my branded Pat diesels. And then I kind of put a raised elevated control room in here. So this is going to be your engineering control panel. And then I was going to fake the rudders, kind of the rudder tie rods and everything else, but adding that many pivots kind of gives it some wonky behavior. So, but that's the home ship, and I would like to get this in at some point. It has a helipad and it has a rescue boat. This one I might trade out for the for this man overboard boat at our home base. Be kind of cool for close rescues. It's not all that fast. Lifeboat, you have the man overboard boat that you've seen before, and the large crane. So this is one of the goals. I want to get this out and working on this. This is actually the reason I started this. Still called the home ship. I have a name for it. I just have not put it on yet. So when I actually get this in, I'll put the name on and do like a name reveal on that. But that's something cool I want to work on at some point. So we're getting there on money-wise. We also need that seed capital. The seed capital allows us to just buy more and more oil, and that, you know, you need money to make money essentially, and so that's good. So that was a good mission. Made some money. Maybe not the most exciting thing, but again, with some money in the bank, that puts us in the right direction. So just having some consistent earning is nice, and then I can get back into some hopefully some rescue missions and stuff. I'm looking forward to that. So I will see you guys in the next one.